All right. Live after the Noles escape Chestnut Hill with a win in a underwhelming is the right word, right? Worrisome, underwhelming. Can you have an embarrassing win? Is that possible? I won't be so doom and gloom on this, but like whatever doom and gloom isn't here on this one, we will probably save for tomorrow's Sunday show. But felt like it was the right thing to probably jump on and start talking about this. Man, felt so good. Felt so good at one point of this, which you started slow in the first half, which you did last week too. And when the team went up 31-10, and I tweeted this, and they didn't score again after that, but they scored 3 touchdowns in about 5.5 minutes of game time. You really just kind of felt like, okay, well, they score 1 or 2 more here, and this thing is completely over, right? You probably get Jordan out. He doesn't have to play the whole game. You probably rest some other guys. BC was certainly on the verge of, I don't know if they had ever quit, just because I feel like they're a fairly high character team, playing for something bigger on the Wells bandana game. But you really had a chance up 31-10, and it wasn't just the defense. The offense let you down. The defense let you down. I think coaching let you down. I think there's a lot to kind of discuss and chat through. I'm happy to read comments. I'm happy to read super chats. I don't have a script for this. I don't have anything really specific that I feel like I have to cover. I'm happy to try and answer whatever questions we can that kind of make sense for the game. But man, you had it was. I thought it was a mirror image of last week. I thought honestly it was a mirror image of last week's game. You played poorly in the first half. You score right at the end of the first half. You get that big momentum boost from Jordan Travis coming back out and being there ready to go in the second half. And you score a couple of times. You get a turnover, Lundy making plays, and you just can't do anything with that. I thought the biggest play of the game for them was that 3rd and 17. Were we up 14 at that point? Was it still 21? You're up 21. And you give up a 3rd and 17 wide open across the middle, and it not even be close. I thought our linebackers played way too we were getting sucked up on the run because obviously the kid was mobile that they had at quarterback, Castellanos. He played a good game. But I know Lundy made the pick. I don't know what you guys have, but I went with Natty Light because that's what the performance deserved. But man, Lundy's pick even really just came from the pressure. It was a great play, don't get me wrong, but horrible throw. Where were the linebackers? I thought the linebackers were gone all day. I mean, Tatum made a nice hit. Lundy got the pick. I get it. Like you're going to make plays, but man, that 3rd and 17, I just don't understand how you give that up. 3rd and 17, up 21, you're rolling. They're this close to quitting, and you give up a massive play over the middle of the field that gets them back in the game. And then just the mistake after mistake after mistake. I hate this offense can be so good, and Mike can be so creative at times, and he can just do such special things. But man, I understand like conventional football says that you run the ball to try and run the clock, but like when your defense can't get a stop, and when your offense is struggling to run the ball, I don't understand why we weren't just throwing it there. I don't understand why we weren't just, and throwing low percentage stuff like the sideline stuff to Johnny and, not Jordan's best game, not his worst by any means. Props to him for coming back out after, we all kind of thought, hey, season might be over here. Just not good. I didn't think we coached well. I mean, listen, I'm not often going to get on here and call for people's jobs, but I don't know if we have a clue what we're doing on defense. I don't know if we have any idea what we're doing defensively. I just don't understand. Like, did we not prep at all this week? I get that Dent's not out there, but like, how do you hold LSU to 17 points and then do that against Boston College? A couple of big plays by the defense late that did kind of seal it. A couple of corner blitzes. I mean, obviously hats off there because if you don't get to those, they were not being stopped. And so we probably lose. But man, I love the way we started the second half. Again, mirror image of last week. And the difference was last week we kept our foot on the pedal. We were playing a team that was very similar. I don't think Boston College is way better. I don't think Southern Miss is way better than BC. I think they're pretty similar. And we just looked like dog crap. Now, all that said, I've ranted for 6 minutes now? Maybe should I go a little bit more rant, or you want some silver lining, or you just want me to continue to talk crap, or I don't know what you guys want. I think Benson's dancing too much. I think he needs to clean that up. Shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, I know they shot themselves in the foot a lot with the penalties, but we handed them 14 points. I guess they missed a 2 point. Fall on the freaking onside kick or squib or whatever it is. Toa Philly, I get it. Everybody makes mistakes, everything happens. But like Toa Philly had been a really good running back for you so far this year, and he still made some nice plays today. But the fumble that they scoop and their quarterback absolutely went off. No slight to him. I thought he was really good. Jordan Travis gets hurt in the game. Jaheim Bell banged up. Aiden Bethune banged up. I'm trying to look at some of the notes that I had. Things went really wrong for you today. So I guess if you want, and coaching let you down. I thought coaching was bad. I thought Mike Norvell called some weird stuff. And I am a huge Mike Norvell fan. I am a 100% believe in Norvell guy. I don't know if the team – I think there's some aspects of human nature of a look-ahead game. I think there's some aspects of knowing what next week is. Guys, I expect them to play much better next week. I expect them to come out and be absolutely – this team has proven that – they can play really, really well, and they can play like absolute dog crap at times. And Richie and I said this when we did our preview. This team could probably play a D-plus game and still find a way to win. And is that what you'd call this? Honestly, is that what you would probably call this? Was maybe a D-plus game? I don't know if it was an F. You still scored 31 points on the road. I think there were aspects of the game that were absolutely terrible, but you still did some things well. Jaheim Bell looked really well, or looked really good. I thought Jordan looked good for a lot of the game. I thought Rodney Hill looked really good. I didn't think the offensive line was bad at all. There were aspects of this game that were awful, but it's probably a D or a C game. I'll tell you what, Florida State loses that game 2 years ago. Florida State might lose that game last year. With shades of NC State, shades of trying to give the game away. I thought Norvell did some weird things. I thought he called some weird stuff. I think we're way too talented to continue to bust it up the middle for 2 yards when that is not working. I'm certainly not saying you abandon the run. And I will say in the second half, I think Jordan Travis's injury in the first half probably limited the fear of Jordan pulling the ball, and that is a big aspect of our running game. I'll say that. I'll give a little bit of grace, I guess, a little bit of not so fire everyone. With that, once the threat of Jordan's legs kind of left, I don't know how effective the running game was going to be. That's where I think you've got to go to the pass. Nobody in the country can guard this passing attack. And so I think you've got to pivot there, right? And I understand trusting your guys. I understand, but I didn't love that. I didn't love the way we called things. But found a way at the end of the day, right? And it was frustrating and it's annoying and you're pissed off at the way that it looked. But at the end of the day, I don't even know about that. All right, I got a comment. We got a comment here. Most pathetic win I've witnessed in 20 years. I don't know. When we beat ULM because they missed an extra point to not send it to overtime is probably up there. Jimbo's last year where we had to have what was a Hail Mary to Tate against Duke to win up there was pretty embarrassing. I don't know that I'd say this was the most embarrassing win. Miss kind of how that BC game played out a couple of years ago. You had a big lead. They fought back in the second half. You find a way to hold on. I think we won that one by 3, win this one by 2. But it is frustrating. But honestly, let's take your comments here. Do you think the team is going to play like this next week? Like I'm not even worried about that. I'm just frustrated that I had to be nervous about the game today. That's what I'm frustrated about. I don't think the team is going to play like this next week. I think they're going to play better. I think they're going to be up for Clemson. I think they're going to play like they did against LSU. And that's not to say that we win by 21, but I certainly expect the team to play better next week. I don't care about the ranking. I've gotten 18 questions on where we're going to be ranked. I don't give a shit. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. I'd imagine we drop a little bit. I have no idea what's going on around us, right? I haven't watched anything else. Somebody brought up a good point that last year, Georgia beat Missouri by 4. Florida beat Missouri last year, so that tells you what kind of team that Missouri was. You have bad games. I don't think that that's like blown anybody's mind. You have bad games. You have games where you play poorly. And if you can find a way to win, then you're in a much better spot than most people in college football. Most teams find a way to lose that game. Did FSU deserve to lose? I don't know. BC made a lot of mistakes too. A team that has 20 penalties probably shouldn't win. A team that throws a pick to DJ Lundy probably shouldn't win. What I love is the FSU Seminoles online store. The email just comes through like, Seminoles win. Come buy some stuff. I totally not reading the room very well. Go Noles, we win. I feel bad for the social media people that have to post the stuff after the game. The game was ugly, man. Game that sucked. I get it. Cinematic recap is going to suck this week. It's going to be frustrating to watch. But it's what it is. You won. Some of y'all, I honestly, not you guys, not the 150 people in here. Some people in this fan base, though. Like, they almost want, like, when we play poorly like this, like, they want us to lose. For some reason. It's weird. They want us to lose. Like, FSU fans. Oh, man, I wish, they want us to lose so they can say, see, I told you this team sucked. I told you they didn't belong. What? It wasn't this bad, but I tweeted about it, man. Florida State played like crap against Boston College in 2013. I'm not saying we go 14-0, 15-0, but Florida State played like dog crap against Boston College that year too. Things happen. Life happens. You're playing down some offensive linemen. You're playing down some secondary guys. Your quarterback got hurt. Your defense played like crap. You turned the ball over that turned into 2 touchdowns. Take 2 scores away from them. And how do you feel? You get a stop on a 3rd and 17. You don't fumble the ball twice that leads to 2 touchdowns. How do you feel? A lot better, right? It's little things. There's some questions on the defense. I completely agree with that. All right, let's give Brad some love. Brad, I don't even know if I can play the sound at this point, but I appreciate your love here. Let's give him some kind of sound here. Oh, boy, this is sarcasm coming from TJ. Here we go.
Fire up the war chant and plant the spear. Noles win. Noles win.
Brad, I appreciate your love. Thank you for sending that in. Boston College has a good offensive line. Makes a difference with the pressure we were getting. Yeah, I thought that the offensive line, I thought the defensive line struggled at times. I really would like to know where Boston College's offensive line is truly rated, like in PFF, overall. I thought that we struggled to get pressure at times. I thought that, anytime we would get pressure, that kid would just Castellanos would just take off and just use his absolutely burner legs to do something special. He had all, you blame the secondary, but he had all day to throw back there, unless we were blitzing. And, man, I think that you just didn't play well, man. You hate to blame. Man, there was talk of the hurricane all week. Boston College certainly played well. It was a sleepy nooner. It was overcast. It was nasty out. You were reading your press clippings for next week. Like, I'm not worried about the team in general. I'm just not. I'm frustrated, but I'm not like nervous. Like, oh man, Clemson's gonna beat our ass next week. Like, I'm not worried about that. I think we're gonna go in and still win. You had some unlucky stuff happen. The scoop and score, the pooch kick. You diagnosed it well. I mean, as much as Norvell struggled, I think, today, you diagnosed it well. You knew it was coming. He called a timeout. They still pooch it. You just got to fall on the ball, man. Sometimes it's execution. I thought their offensive line got really good push on our defensive line. I didn't love to see that. I've been telling you this is the best defensive line in college football all offseason, and they played against LSU like it, but they certainly didn't play today like it. I thought the defensive line got pushed back too much. Too many big third down plays, man. 3rd and 17, 3rd and 20, 3rd and forever, 3rd and 10, and they're converting it with ease. I thought that was frustrating. Let me update Brad here down on the bottom. Brad's going to cuss me out if I don't update his name here. Brad's our leader today. See how unenthusiastic I am? This is what the Noles has done to me today. But I'm not worried about the team. At the end of the day, I mean, some of you are miserable and you want the team to lose when they play poorly. But I am happy they won, right? Like, bad games are going to happen, but you'd certainly rather win. I know some of you guys are miserable and you prefer the loss. But yeah, 3-0. You're a quarter of the way through the season, and you've got your biggest game of the year next week. Clemson's playing better. You might not be as solid as you think. I still think the Noles are really good. I still think when they're playing up to their potential, they are really freaking good. Tennessee is a top, what are they, 11th right now? Tennessee's the 11th ranked team in the country, and they were losing to Austin Peay with like 2 minutes to go in the first half last week. Crap happens, man. And I'm not trying to put lipstick on a pig. This game sucked. Like, it really did. I'm not trying to, oh man, the wheels are I just think the wheels are falling off crowd is wrong, and so is the, oh man, we have nothing to worry about. I don't think we have a lot to worry about. I think everything is out there is correctable. I think Norvell needs to get better. I think the execution has to get better. I think Benson needs to find that gear that he was in last year. I think you got to hold on to the ball. I think you got to make better decisions. I think, I hate this. I hate to be this guy, but for our offense, like, I don't like the 7-yard run on second down. For a lot of offenses, that's a great thing. 7-yard run on second down. Oh, 3rd and short. You're 3rd and manageable. Not me. No. I want to see 2 pass plays on 2nd and 10. When we pass the ball, we're going for more than 10 yards of play. So I want 2 chances with, you get to 3rd and 3, you get to that last one that we got to. I didn't love that. I didn't love the way that went down. I'd rather throw the ball. I get you're trying to run the clock out late, but man, it didn't work. You got lucky that they committed another penalty. I didn't think Mike called a great game. I didn't think Fuller, I think defense sucked. I mean, and there's as bad as the offense was, I mean, you scored 31 points. You should win games against Boston College when you score 31. Should the offense have scored more? Absolutely. Should the offense have put up 45 or more? Absolutely. No questions about it. But the defense was dog crap. It's just not good at all. They didn't, it's a good point. I don't think they looked prepared. They looked like they had no idea this kid was going to be a mobile quarterback and run the ball. He was their leading rusher coming into the game. Now, they'd only played 2 games, but he was their leading rusher coming into the game, and they still looked underprepared. Shout out Memphis. Sorry, I'm blowing it here. I appreciate the text. You're the best. All right, so what else you guys got? I got to take a sip. I'm frustrated. Well, it didn't look like he knew the kid. It didn't look like he was prepared for him. All right, let's look up a box score real quick. We'll keep talking about this. Somebody said Alabama's struggling with USF. What's the score over there? Score's still 0-0. Only like 5 minutes into that game, right? Oh, USF's winning into the first. Look at that. It's football, right? Like, I don't know. South Carolina's beating UGA right now. So, I don't know. I'm just not ready to melt down yet. I don't know. Are you like, how do you guys feel? Crap happens. You played like crap. You found a way to win. Now you go play Clemson. I don't know what else, I'm not nervous. I'm not worried. I'm frustrated. Listen, I've got all 3 kids today. I went to some event, and I was like, oh, no big deal. Yeah, we're going to blow this team out. And then we were up 31, and I was like, nah, no big deal. I don't even have to do an instant reaction because we're going to win by 40. Crazy. Hey, Sean Murphy, you should try some more caps, bro. Florida State. This is hilarious, though. Looking at the Erica, ban that guy. I'm just sick of him. One comment in, just get rid of him. No insight on the injuries. Sorry, it's just too quick. Everybody that I'm around, like they wouldn't have that fast. It is funny that obviously people are melting down about this game being somewhat close, and right now Georgia's losing to South Carolina and Alabama's losing to South Florida. Like, is that not just like par for the course of of what that is? Hey, I do like the rivals that are celebrating this, because I think we all know that they're still going to get it. I mean, like, I'm not worried about that at all. All right, what else you guys got? Anybody else got more comments? Let's try and read through some comments. Nothing on injuries. Don't feed the trolls. Yeah, we just ban trolls around here. It's more fun. Let's see if there's any good comments here. No word on Bell. I don't know if he got back in or not. I don't know if Bethune got back in. I was too busy praying to really pay attention to what was actually happening on the field at that point. So, nobody's going to have word on injuries this quickly. Like, the team hasn't even, any sources, they're all with the, I don't think they have their phones out ready to, text back. It sounds like Bell went back in. Travis is not living up to the hype. That's an interesting one. Let me go look at how Jordan just did overall. I thought he made some good plays. I thought there were some plays that he left out there. He finishes with 212 and 2 touchdowns. I thought the Jaheim Bell play was a touchdown too. I thought both touchdowns were really good. I thought the pass to Johnny Wilson to start the second half was phenomenal. I thought he and Johnny kind of showed that connection really, really good. All day today. I thought Johnny bounced back really well. That was a huge positive for me, was the way that Johnny Wilson played. Obviously, you were just worried about, hey, how's he going to look coming off of a pretty rough game last week where he didn't even play in the second half. I thought Rodney Hill looked good. Obviously, had that long run of 18 yards, 42 on 5 carries, had a couple of catches as well. But Johnny goes over 100. Jaheim Bell is unstoppable. Obviously, had a touchdown as well. Nothing from Keon. I'd assume, going back and watching, that they were covering him up pretty good, covering him up double teamed there. Scary moment on that punt return when he was looking like that was going to be given away. I thought Kalen obviously had the big sack there at the end. It was big. Renardo Green with the big sack at the end. I guess they gave him half a sack there, credited with DJ Lundy, who had the pick. Super underwhelming. I don't know any other way to say it. I'm not melting down. I'm not freaking out over the team, but it was super underwhelming. And they have all week to figure it out. They have all week to figure out what they're going to do against Clemson. I think they're going to play better. Clemson played a game a lot. Clemson played a game a lot like this, guys, where they fumbled several times inside of the 10, where they look like crap, where their quarterback was dog, and they ended up losing. Right? I think Duke's better than Boston College, but that makes sense. But you don't get to come out of playing like this often with a win. Florida State's talent, BC's mistakes, you still got to do it. Go out next week. I'll tell you, you beat Clemson, and nobody's ever going to remember this. I believe in 2013, the Boston College game was 2 weeks before Clemson. I think you played BC, and you either played like another game right after that and then played Clemson, or like there was a bye. Let's look it up. Yeah, Boston College, Maryland, then you played Clemson. There was a bye in there as well. So it was actually like 3 weeks, but you played a game in between it. When we beat Boston College by 14, game obviously closer than you wanted. You only were up by 7 at the half, just like today. Boston College just didn't make it super close like this one, but they did make it close late. Actually, they got it down to 2 scores with like 10 minutes to go, and then nobody scored again. But when Boston College played you close and you kind of felt bad coming out of that game, nobody remembered that crap 2 weeks later when you beat the dog crap out of Clemson. Like, nobody. Have you ever heard somebody bring up that Boston College game since then? Like, outside of me today, trying to... No, it's not to say that's what happens, but it certainly has the propensity. You certainly have the chance to go out there and absolutely wipe this game from memory. Now, you go out and lose to Clemson. Maybe people say this is where it turned around. Maybe people just say this is where you kind of went wrong, where you weren't able to do some stuff. But you go out and beat Clemson next week. Like, who cares? Who gives a crap? You won the game. Oh, trying to read through some of your comments. I don't know on starter next year. It's just it's figure that out once we win the national championship. Yeah, you remember that BC game, but nobody brings that up. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna remember this one either. Honestly, you go out and lose to Clemson by 3. Who cares? You go out and lose to Clemson by 3 or 10 or whatever. Your result today just isn't going to stand out. It doesn't matter. It's annoying. It's frustrating. Florida, in their national championship team, lost to an Ole Miss team that had 4 losses. Like, this is just not – I just don't think it's that uncommon. You know, I think you just have stuff like this. Now, if this happens over and over and over and over again, that's when I think we start to worry, right? They're going to play well against Clemson. They're going to play really well against Clemson. And they may win, they may lose. But this game is not going to matter for that. And if you lose to Clemson, it honestly doesn't matter then either. If you lose to Clemson, you got to come back out and beat Virginia Tech and beat Syracuse and beat Duke and beat a Wake Forest team that barely got by Old Dominion today. Got to go on the road and beat an okay Pitt team, and then you got to beat your rivals to end the year. Certainly don't want to lose to Clemson, but this game really just does not. Oh man, what if we drop in the rankings? Who cares? 11-1 or 12-0, and you're getting in. Win the ACC championship at 11-1. It sucks. It was annoying. It was frustrating. I think what people really care about the most is there are rivals that get to enjoy the fact that Florida State won close. And they are absolutely probably lighting up my mentions right now. They're probably lighting up some of your mentions right now. And I get it. Like, nobody wants their rivals to be able to celebrate, but they're celebrating that Florida State won a close game. It's hilarious. Oh, Florida State didn't play as well, but they found a way to win. Okay. Florida State played like dog crap, but they found a way to win. All right. Congratulations. If that's the best you can do. C. Dale. Appreciate the love here. Let's find a good one. Boy, none of these seem very appropriate. We'll do this one.
Put a smile on your face. Okay? Because Florida State, if we going to do it then, We do it big. Let's go, baby.
I hate to, argue with you there. Even if we went out, I think they'd put a one-loss SEC in the playoffs. Yeah, that's wrong. There's zero chance at all. Florida State goes 12-0, 13-0. Like, they're in the playoff. Like, that's silly. They could lose to Clemson and win out, and they're still in the playoff. I'm just telling you, nobody gives a crap about this BC game. It was frustrating for sure, but I completely disagree with that. There's no chance that Florida State gets left out at 12-1 or 13-0. That's ludicrous. But I do appreciate the super chat. Brad's still our leader. I'll put your name up there if you beat him out. Oh, man. All right. What else you guys got? I probably don't have too much more longer. I don't have too much longer in me. 30 minutes of ranting seems like enough. Again, I think that we are frustrated with how it went down. I think we're frustrated. It's going to get ugly next week. That's interesting. I don't think so. We'll see what Vegas does. I think Vegas makes Clemson a 2-point favorite, 2 or 3. I don't think Vegas is going to overreact to this like our fan base is. I don't think Vegas is going to overreact to this like rivals do. Encyclopedia, thank you so much. Let's do this one.
You a recruit and you ain't going to Florida State. What you doing?
Thanks for the coverage, TJ. Better than losing. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think next week's gonna get ugly. We'll see. If I'm wrong, you can come back in here and you can tell me I was wrong. But I don't think Vegas is gonna overreact to this. I don't think the team is going to overreact to this. I think they got a lot of information this week about things they can do better. And the ultimate silver lining, the ultimate like, oh man, TJ's just being super positive here, is I'd obviously all of this crap happen this week, the next. I'd obviously like all the bad decisions that I think were made on every side of the ball, coaching included, to happen this week as opposed to next. Now they got 6 days to go out and figure out what the heck happened and try and go win a football game against a team that you haven't beaten since Jameis was here. You haven't won this game in 9 years. Now you get a chance to go do it. I think that we can play better. I think we can coach better. And I think we will. And if we don't, then we will lose. But we'll see. I think this team's done a good job of rebounding. I think they lost 3 games straight last year, and then they rebounded really well to win 8 in a row. Now 9 in a row. Look like crap, but they did a really good job rebounding. See what my guy Josh here says. Josh is a member. TJ, I've been getting crap from people the past 2 weeks because I've been saying that we aren't playing well enough. Well, did everyone see it now? They have to do better. 18 penalties and a turnover. Yeah, I don't know that we had an 18. The other team did. But, they played like crap. See, last week they played like crap for like a quarter and a half. And then they were 2.5 quarters of really good play. This week, I thought they played like crap for a quarter and a half. They played good the second half. And then they played lights out for like 5 or 6 minutes into the third quarter. And then they really didn't play very well the rest of the game. And they still found a way to win. I'd say Florida State played like crap for like 3 quarters today. Is that fair? Florida State played like dog crap for 3 quarters today. Probably played well for about a quarter of time. 6 months of membership. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. Florida State played like crap for 3 quarters, played well for 1 quarter, and still won on the road in conference. Against a Power 5 team as well, right? I don't think BC is good. I think he should have blown them out. But you played like crap for 3 quarters, and you won. I don't know what else to say besides that, right? Got to play better next week. Got to rebound from that. But ultimately, you played like dog crap, and you won. I bet they don't play like that next week. I feel pretty confident about that. We'll see. You're right, though. If they play like that next week, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. I tweeted, honestly, my biggest takeaway from this is what it proves about the ACC versus the SEC. I think Boston College would absolutely wax LSU. I don't think a lot of people could tell that I was joking on that. I thought that was a pretty obvious joke, and people are lighting that up. They don't think that's funny. I'm sorry for, I'm very sorry for trying to have a little bit of fun after a disappointing game. Oh man. All right, what else you guys got? I think I'm about wrapped up. How about okay? Let's give. Have they said who broke the rock yet? I know nobody wants us to even break the rock today, but you get 12 of these a year. You got to go find a way to win, right? I get it. It sucked. But, man, these are still kids, man, that found a way to win in a game that they played like crap in. Let them live, man. Let them kids do stuff. Oh, nobody should break the rock. Man, get the hell out of here. DJ Lundy had an interception and a touchdown in the same game. Let that kid go break the freaking rock, man. Y'all are miserable. Now, I hated the fact that we didn't win this thing by a lot. But shut the heck up, man. Let them kids be kids. Josh, you have to do a super chat too, my man. Oh boy, yeah, our program doesn't do the thing, but I'll give you a. Let's do this one.
Touchdown, Florida State! Touchdown, FSU!
I'll put Josh's comment up here. Let DJ Lundy go break that rock, and y'all shut up. Not you guys, not the 100 or so people in here. It's everybody. Those are comments to everybody else. Man, they're kids, man. They're 3-0. If they win next week, we're holding church from that Clemson parking lot. As soon as I get service back, I'm live on here because I'm going to ask you, after we win next week, I'm going to ask how many of you guys remember the Boston College game and if you're still upset about it. Maybe that's the big takeaway. You won. You looked like crap. Today sucked. You guys wanted to win by 40 just so that we could glow. I get it. But after next week, win or loss, I mean, let's be fair, win or loss against Clemson, it just isn't going to matter. You're going to lose to Clemson. You're not going to be like, oh, man, that stinks that we played close against BC. No, you're just going to say that sucks that we lost to Clemson. You beat Clemson, you're never going to remember this game again. Oh, man. So, all right, I think that's all I got for today. Listen, if you're shy, you guys, I know you, okay, yeah. So, I'm getting some comments here. Johnny Wilson, great to see him back. Pivotal. I think teams are going to double Keon Coleman for the rest of the year. You've got to have Johnny Wilson playing at 100%. Keon Coleman taking away their best two defenders, and then Johnny Wilson and Jaheim Bell all day. Give me that. I love it. Kyle Morlock made a big play. Likes that a lot. I thought Keziah Holmes played well. I thought Rodney Hill played well. Obviously, I love DJ Lundy making some plays on his side too. I don't know how much Coleman disappeared and how much they really are limiting him by double teams. I'd really need to go back and look at that a little closer for me to say that he truly disappeared. Lundy did break the rock. Good stuff. Defense has sucked. Let's be honest. Just call a spade a spade. Got some stuff to fix over there. Might start at the top. Shout out Jordan Travis coming back in. I'm telling you, the way the defense played, he doesn't come back in, we lose a game. I'll just say that. Jordan Travis doesn't come back, we lose that game. 100%. And I don't think it was smart, but I like the way he dipped his shoulder down and hit that guy. Jordan Travis is a warrior. I don't think that play was smart, but it fired me up. I think that if Jordan doesn't come back in, we lose. I thought his jolt as soon as we came back out of the half and scoring twice there within just 3 or so minutes was massive. Jordan was not his most accurate game. I thought he was good running the ball. I thought he was good throwing the ball for the most part. 15 of 24 is not great, but you're going to have days where you're a little bit less accurate. But I thought Jordan was pretty good overall. Got out of some stuff. Not his best game, but not his worst either. So, anyway, all right. I think that's all my positives. Hey, and Ryan Fitzgerald, still perfect on the year. Shout out the kicker. Ryan Fitzgerald doesn't make his field goal, we lose a game. So shout out my guy Fitz. Give me a Ryan Fitzgerald walk-off next week against Clemson. So, all right. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to me whine and moan and complain. 40 minutes of me ranting about how bad we are and how everything is not that big of a deal. We'll be fine. We'll play better next week. I promise. If we don't, you can come from my head and Adam Fuller's. So, all right. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Go Noles.